all the major planets are moving from the feminine signs into the masculine ones. So that's a big shift. We can say it will create so many new activities. It will be much more active. So when we have that, we have much more of a fire, of course, because the sign of Aries, where the Saturn and Neptune are going to be, it is very initiative one. We start with this. But then we also have Uranus going into Gemini, so that one will also activate another masculine sign. The year of 2025 is so significant because it is the first of the yang years. When I say yang, I mean very active one. The year of 2025 and 2026 are going to be two yang years, meaning activating one. So what do we want to activate in this year? We want to activate our true self. Why do we say it is so important? It is because all the major planets are moving from the feminine signs into the masculine ones. So that's a big shift. We can say it will create so many new activities. It will be much more active. So when we have that, we have much more of a fire, of course, because the sign of Aries, where the Saturn and Neptune are going to be, it is very initiative one. We start with this. But then we also have Uranus going into Gemini, so that one will also activate another masculine sign. So those 2 points that we have, 0 Aries and 0 Gemini, are both equally important. So very important for 0 Gemini is that it is known as a Hermes point. Hermes is the first who knew how to go to the other side of the existence, meaning go to the underworld and come back. We always say that the 0 degree of Gemini is more than just a Gemini. It is a Mercury who knows the secret of immortality. Basically, the story of Gemini is the story of 2 brothers. One was mortal and the other was immortal. So the 0 degree is the one where even the asteroid Hermes was discovered for the first time. So anytime we have a 0 degree Gemini activating, we are talking about the deeper knowledge, hermetic one, but also the initiation, the transformation, the getting something immortal. That's why the year of 2025 and the 2026 are going to be very significant for that kind of activation of our true self, our true being. I say both of these years because we'll have a situation when Uranus enters the Gemini, then go back, and then again it will enter Gemini. By 2026 we'll have all these planets there, stable, they are not going back. The same thing will happen with the 0 Aries. We'll have first Neptune enters the Aries, and then Saturn, they come back, and then again. By 2026 they'll be there stable. However, the 0 Aries is the one that represents the new cycle of everything. So we have a 0 Aries first with Neptune and then with the Saturn. We can say in many levels how important this moment is. First, it is important on the level of our self, our development. Whatever Neptune represents in our chart, house it rules, house it is, it will actually say it is a new start. We are starting something new. Generally, we can say that this is going to be a time where something new, some new spiritual knowledge can be activated. This is one thing of Neptune. But on the other side, we can also say Neptune rules the oceans. So we'll have many oceans are becoming warm and hot, because this is what we have with the Aries. Oceans are becoming hot, and by the time Saturn enters there, Saturn's that represents the glaciers, they will start melting down. So in some cases we will see by 2025, 2026, most likely some of big glaciers on Antarctica will melt down, and it's gonna change something in nature. So this is one thing. But what is the message happening, actually coming with that? Is this actually the only thing that's happening, or we have some purpose? I think there is a bigger purpose to that, and that purpose is connected with us. We as humans need to start something new. It is the time to activate our true spiritual self, When I say that, I mean part of us which is like immortal, which knows how to be true, how to be real, how to activate its own heliocentric chart. Heliocentric chart is the one that represents our enlightened self. We all have that, but most of us do not live that chart enough. So we basically need to learn how to live the chart, how to be one who is so real with the need. Why are we born? What is our need here? What are our true gifts? What is what we can do for this life that we live? These are all the questions we have in 2025, 2026. Politically talking, that's another story. It will provoke many changes. We know historically how Saturn-Neptune aspects are important for global events, especially the one related to Russia. They were always connected with those stories happening there. So this is one story. But whatever is going to happen, it is going to be initiated by the retrograde Mars, starting this December and ending somewhere in February. So it's going to be from Leo to the sign of Cancer, then going back, making an opposition to Pluto. That's actually something that will cause the change. So we can expect major changes in this year, politically talking, in the first part of the year. Basically, even this very year, 2025, will start with exact opposition of Mars and Pluto, and then they will continue. Mars is going to be retrograde. Whenever Mars is retrograde, it behaves as a Pluto. So we'll have like a very strong Plutonian experience, which means transformational experience. So transformation is happening starting from this, December, January, February, March, and then we have a new shift. By the end of March, we'll have eclipse, March 29, and then Neptune enters the Aries, March 30th. So it's going to be like really important thing that will cause that shift globally. And then we continue, we'll have May 25th, we'll have a Saturn ingresses the zero Aries, and then July 7, Uranus enters the Gemini, all big shifts. So all of that is related to our own energy shifts that we are going to have, and it is important for everyone who knows the connection between oneself and the global community to learn how to work with its own animals, with its own energies, how to make them in balance, how to make them powerful enough to be able to express our true self. Not just to express some explosions on inner level. No. All that huge energy we need to have to use for our greater self. Because any higher states of consciousness we can achieve always comes with the higher states of energy. There is no way that we can have a higher states of consciousness and lower states of energy. It doesn't go like that. We need to have that huge energy. In terms of our personal lives, I think everyone is going to be especially connected if someone has some Mars-Pluto aspect activated, like it has its own chart, like something similar, because this connection, this aspect will be actually more related to those people. But whoever has that, take that as an initiation for your greater and better life, your situation, your better things that we are going to create here with this one. I hope it would help you to understand better what we do, but what I basically create for every given year is a calendar, astrological calendar, in which I write about not only aspects that are happening like on a daily basis, also there is one part dedicated to the vertical of time. Vertical of time actually represents the quality of the time, the need of that particular day. So every single day has its own purpose. If we learn how to be in line with that purpose, we are okay. Things are working fine with us. We are karma free. in that day. So in one side, in that calendar, we can check what is happening globally, what is happening in our own transit life. We can just write down what are our main transits activating that day. So we can check them, but at the same time, we can see what is the purpose of a day and how we tune ourselves with that purpose. This year, this day, or wherever it is going to be great for us. We are getting karma free. I think it's very important to practice this knowledge of verticality of time as a purpose of a day in every single day in this year. The astrological calendar has all the aspects for every given day. So there are lunar aspects, then there are planetary aspects, we have all the retrogradations that are happening, lunations, full moons, new moons whenever we have them. We have all the charts of major planetary configurations or planetary ingresses. So we have all that in that calendar, and also one sector dedicated to the verticality of time, or that vertical time that represents the purpose of each day. So we have those codes of vertical time given by every single day, but the nature of that code is possible to read at the end of the book. So we have all like explanations, what those codes means actually, how to behave, what to do, how to activate those regular activity, what can we do about it. So once we understand the purpose of a day, we can see, the circumstances where we are in and apply them. And that's actually something that changes the flow of karma, which is always horizontal, which always represents transits that we have on every day. So that's why this is very practical for every one of us, whatever we do. This is because this year is the year of activation of our bigger self. This is one that represents a yang activity, so we want to activate our purpose, we want to activate our true self, and all that our body needs to accept. Once our body accepts that purpose, our life becomes really beautiful on every level.